Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? I am Chris, and I am here to react to the official trailer for Creed 3. This came out of absolutely nowhere. I had stuff planned tonight. I still have stuff planned tonight that I need to get to, but I absolutely couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk about Creed 3. The Rocky franchise and Creed is one of my favorite franchises of films of all time. The story, the legacy, the characters, everything just absolutely timeless, and is a franchise of films that I come back to more times than I care to mention. First and foremost, apologies for the quality of my voice. I am getting over an illness, and what didn't help matters, I went to a gig last night. So, shouting at loud music all night, this will do this to your voice. So, yeah, so apologies for that. We're going to work through it. Hopefully we get some people in the chat. Obviously, if you are new to my channel and everything like that, please do consider subscribing for more movie reviews, discussions, live streams, reaction videos. For reactions nowadays, at least, I tend to just jump on when it's something that I'm really passionate about or curious about, and I genuinely want to talk about. And Creed 3 is absolutely one of those films. I have been dying for another Creed film since Creed 2, which was back in 2018, I think it was. Absolute madness. If I've got them at hand, which I do. I'm a massive Rocky fan. This is one of my favorite things that I own. I've got a pair of the shorts, and that's signed by Carl Weathers there. And then, hang on, guys. I got a pair of these are the Ivan Drago ones, signed by Dolph Lundgren as well. I'm a massive... I need to get Clubber Lang's. I mean, if Mr. T's doing a sign-in, I am there in a heartbeat. And then I've at least kind of got the majority of the villains then. But anyway, Creed 3, I know nothing about this movie. The last bit of information I heard about this was that possibly Clubber Lang's son is going to be the villain of the film, which I'm kind of against. I don't know if that's still the truth. I'm about to find out in the trailer. But because we already did the son of Victor Drago, I don't really want... Sorry, the son of, Ivan Drago with Victor in Creed 2. I don't want to just repeat that and just do, the son of Clubber Lang, the son of another major villain from the Rocky franchises here. And also just because of the fact that Clubber Lang really didn't have anything to do with Creed. You know, the Dragos... Well, Ivan Drago was so intrinsically linked to Creed and his life, and obviously his father as well. But you wouldn't really get that with Clubber Lang, and I don't want them to fall into a pit of keep doing that. On top of that, I know that Michael B. Jordan's directing. It's his directorial debut, so it'll be interesting to see what he can bring to the table and what he does with the franchise. The one thing that I'm a little bit miffed about, though, is that Sylvester Stallone isn't in this one. I think the success of the Creed films is balanced, obviously, between Michael B. Jordan, but still with the presence of Sylvester Stallone in there. That student mentor role, and because Rocky's so iconic, if Stallone did want to bow out of the character and didn't want to play him anymore, then I think the franchise, as depressing as this is, and it would absolutely break me, I feel like the franchise needs to see Rocky die on screen. If Rocky just isn't in this one, hopefully Creed can carry a film by himself, because I feel like the strengths of the other two Creed films have been Rocky's relationship with Creed and how Rocky's past life and the events of Rocky in his heyday influence, Creed's Adonis Creed's in the present day, and how the past can kind of catch up with you. And indeed, that's the tagline for this one. So I don't know if the villain of this film is going to be the son of Clubber Lang, or if it's going to be perhaps another illegitimate child that Creed had out of wedlock, who's also kind of chasing after his father's legacy. So we're going to have a brotherly story. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this. So I'm going to bring the trailer up now. I'm going to scoot over here so I can get my reaction to it. As I said, this was totally last minute, guys. This was totally last minute. So, yeah, if you do want to kind of keep updated whenever I go live with stuff like this, give me a follow on Twitter. You can find it going across the bottom of the screen right now. It's at Hobbit Fan Editor. This was really, really last minute tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, we're about to find out. So, let me just do this real quick before we move on. There we go. Okay, so this is my first time reaction. I haven't seen any shred of information on this film outside of what I've already mentioned. So, with all that being said, here we go.
I spent the last 7 years of my life living out my wildest dreams. Bianca, Rocky, my dad. This is built on their shoulders. Hey, my man, can I help you?
Let me get an autograph.
No, I ain't signing no autographs. Get off my car.
You don't remember me, huh?
Oh, okay.
Hey. How long were you locked up?
Oh, it's going to be a childhood friend then.
Just got out last week.
Glad to have you back out, huh?
I know I've been away a long time, but I kept myself in shape. I still got gas in the tank.
Oh, dude's going to be prison strong.
Thank you.
Curious what happened with you two?
Oh, you tell you.
We was like brothers.
Yeah, it's going to be like
I
a
was the
brotherly
best,
kind
though.
of thing. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I never got a chance to prove that.
That's cute. I know what you're doing, Donnie. You don't owe this dude nothing.
Damien's fighting the world and he's trying to hurt people. I vouch for you. You think you mad? Try spending half your life in a cell. Watching somebody else live your life. I'm coming for everything. You threatening me?
Something is going on with you.
Damien was like family. Now we past talking.
Then maybe you just have to fight him.
So it's quite an intense villain, isn't it? Similar to like a Clubber Lang kind of villain. Like he's hungry for it. Got a beach running scene, just like Rocky 3.
They call it guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I feel those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
Okay, nice. Okay, let me just stop that real quick and come back to the stream. All right, so it is a thing that I guess before clicking it, you know, that it is going to be I know he's not his actual brother, but that for the function of the story and the characters, they are kind of like brothers, you know, when way back when they were kids and everything. It looks like, well, basically it's all highlighted in the trailer, isn't it, that Adonis is living the life that this guy believes that he should have and had a shot at, but got banged up in jail. So he's hungry for the title, and that's why I mentioned it's similar to Clubber Lang, because I don't think they say in Rocky 3 that Clubber Lang was ever in jail, do they? I actually can't remember that, but the point is that he's been watching this person, you know, he's been vying for that world heavyweight champion title, and he's been training like an absolute monster, and he's hungry, and he's got the, you know, he's got the edge stallion, he's got the eye of the tiger, and he's going after it. And that seems like what this villain is. I am missing Rocky's presence, and it's very noticeable in this trailer. So I don't know how they're going to write Rocky out of it. I don't think they'd kill him off screen, unless they're just going to say that he's kind of staying with his son now. Because at the end of Creed 2, spoiler alert, I guess, why are you watching a trailer reaction for Creed 3? Rocky at the end of the film goes back to his son Roberts, and, you know, finally gets to bond with his grandson and his family again. So it's quite a nice ending. And at the end of Creed 2, Rocky does kind of, you know, bump fists with Adonis and says, "This is your time now," which could be effectively like a passing of the torch with the actual films. But that being said, I do miss Rocky's presence in this still, and maybe Stallone thought that what else could he bring to the table? With a story like this, it's a villain who, quote unquote villain, you know what I'm talking about. It's an antagonist that has no relation to Rocky's past, so Rocky can't really come in with the influence of that. And then beyond that, it would just be the normal training tips. But I always thought it was weird how Rocky's diagnosed with cancer in Creed 1, and then they just completely ignore that storyline in Creed 2. They just say, "Oh yeah, he got better." And I thought, if Stallone's only going to do one more Creed film, because I always saw that, you know, like Rocky is, you know, the 6-film saga. Creed, I don't know if you could keep doing like a Creed 4, 5, 6 and something like that. If they can make it work, then hell yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. But I always saw Creed being a trilogy in a weird way. I don't know why I always thought that. But I feel like we need to see Rocky bow out on screen. And I think Stallone owes us that. I think if he's done playing the character, I think we need to see that character's end. And it would be very, very sad, and it would probably be one of the most emotional things I'd ever see in the cinema, because Rocky as a character means so much to me, and those films and the inspiration they give. But maybe they could do something with, you know, Rocky's cancer returning, and, you know, this is a battle whilst Adonis is battling that, you know, insurmountable odds in the ring. Rocky's also going through this as well, which I guess you could probably argue is very similar to the plot of Creed 1, which, you know, I can totally understand. But, you know, Rocky can't even beat this. He's beaten everything. He's beaten a Super Russian, he's beaten Tommy Gunn, he's beaten Clubber Lang, Adonis, Apollo Creed. He's beaten all these people. But the one thing that can't beat him is, you know, is his own mortality, essentially, his time and this condition. I do think it was weird how... I love Creed 2, by the way. I absolutely love Creed 2. But I did think it was weird how they kind of dropped that very emotional storyline from Creed 1 with Rocky, you know, obviously fighting cancer. This film's going to feel very weird without him, because it's the first Rocky film / Creed film without Sylvester Stallone. Now, Sylvester Stallone still is involved in it as a producer. I'm still going to like keep my fingers crossed that perhaps he shows up in a cameo in some way, and maybe towards the end of the film, or the character is going to be handled with care. But if it's just like, oh yeah, Rocky's just spending time with Robert, I'm like, okay. Especially if Creed is going for a heavyweight title, and, you know, Rocky's his trainer, is his mentor. It's weird that there wouldn't be a scene where Adonis would seek Rocky out and get some life lessons from him and get some, you know, guidance from him. I know you've got Duke's son in this, who's kind of his trainer, who's in his corner, so maybe he's going to be assuming the role now as his mentor. But it's weird to me, after everything they've all gone through, that Rocky would just be completely absent from it in every way. So I'm really hoping that they address that, and I'm holding out hope that Rocky's in there. Because going back to Creed 2, one of the biggest surprises for me in Creed 2 was Bridget Nielsen getting a cameo. I'll never forget that, because I was at Manchester Comic-Con that time, and they had a bunch of the Rocky cast there. They had Apollo Creed there. They had Bridget Nielsen. They had... I'm trying to think who else was there. I don't know if it was just those two, if they had a third Rocky guest as well. And the night before, Creed 2 was out in the cinemas. So I got up there a day early. I went to the cinema. It's kind of my tradition when I go to Manchester Comic-Con. And I went to see Creed 2. And then the day after, I was at Comic-Con, and Bridget Nielsen was there. And I got to talk to her about Creed 2, going like, I did not expect to see you in Creed 2. And what a wonderful cameo it was, you know, to have you back in the franchise. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that Sylvester Stallone's in there. Because he says stuff, you know, he says like, oh, I'm not in there, but he might be. So I'm going to hold out hope for that. But yeah, Creed 3, one of my most anticipated films of 2023. In fact, it might even be my most anticipated film of that year. I just really hope that if this is the last one in the trilogy, that it ends on a high note, that it's equal, you know, or comparable in quality to Creed 1 and Creed 2, and it has its place in the Rocky franchise and the Rocky saga overall. Yeah, I can't wait for it. I'm really looking forward to it. So that'll do it for my trailer reaction on Creed 3. And now I'm going to hand over to you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on Creed 3. Are you looking forward to it? What are your hopes for Creed 3? And do you think it will be the last one in the franchise, or do you think they'll continue it on? Anything Creed or Rocky related, please do let me know, and let's get a conversation going in the comment section. I will be live again tomorrow for my review on Star Wars Andor. We're up to episode 7. And actually, no, I won't be live tomorrow. I'm at the cinema tomorrow night. I'm watching a rescreening of The Lost Boys 35th anniversary screening. So I will be back on Thursday So that's going to be Thursday, the 20th of October at 11 p.m. British Standard Time. I'll be live with JX Editor for our review on Star Wars Andor Episode 7. We're both really enjoying the series and interested to see where it goes and what it can lead to, so please do jump on for that. And also, I'm planning a James Cameron retrospective, which hopefully I can get off the ground this weekend. Finding time to jump on for this is very tough, but that is the next thing that I have planned and I do want to get to, which should hopefully be this weekend. In the meantime, give me a follow on Twitter. I'll post all the times as and when I know when I'm going live. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel. There'll be more reactions like this, more reviews, discussions, live streams, everything in between, all about movies and TV shows. So if you're into that kind of stuff, give me a subscribe. Why not? And yeah, thank you to everyone that's tuned in or watched along. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Take care, everyone.